Hey y'all, it's Rachel Elizabeth, and you're watching Real Talk with Rach. Today I want to talk a little bit about relationships. Given that I have been in quite a few of them, I don't know that I'm an expert, but I do have quite a bit of experience. And to be honest, I'm saying that because I don't think that experience was a very good teacher. I've been talking a lot about value lately. In past videos, you may have seen a theme. It's because it is really important that you understand your value in order to make smart decisions that protect you and your heart. But the truth is, I only know that because I had to learn the hard way that my way wasn't best, that I didn't know how to protect my own heart, that it wasn't the guy that was the problem. I mean, we're all a mess. Really, so there was no one perfect that I ever dated, but what I'm trying to say is this. I, for a long time, thought that one failed relationship was just because that was the wrong fit for me and I needed to try dating someone else and that next one would be better, but they all ended kind of for the same reasons, roundabout sort of way. And there was a season of my life I think it was 2013, where I absolutely cut myself off from dating altogether because I realized that of all of my failed relationships, the only thing they had in common was me. This was right about the same time that I was kind of getting my feet wet in a relationship with God, a real relationship, because God is real. This isn't just, I'm going to try out religion. I had discovered that the God of the universe wanted a relationship with me. You guys can watch my story, which is my video called Fitness is Not the Answer, if you want full details on that, but I'm not going to spend too much time there. The reason why I'm bringing that up is that when I realized that I was the common denominator, I realized something that I've heard so cliche, but something I've heard over and over again, and that is you have to work on the me before you can become a we. This was the first time I realized that that was true. I needed to spend some time with God and with just me to basically learn who I was and learn about who God was. And really what I found out over and over again is that you don't find out who you are before you find out who God is, because it's really not about us at all. So the reason why this is all linked to my past videos on value is because I didn't realize who I was and I didn't realize my value until I discovered who God was. I want to talk about something real quick that has often been misunderstood, and that is the fear of God. Now, don't shut this off immediately because I'm going to tell you what that really means. It's not what you think it means. I mean, it is in part. Let me explain. To fear God is to stand in awe of who He is, the sum of who He is. And really, when I say that, you can't even have the sum of what He is in this lifetime because there's no way we can get to know everything about God. As human beings, we are pretty knowable, meaning people can spend a lot of time and get to know us and know our patterns and know how we're going to react to things. And you can get to know a human being. But God is infinite. He is so unknowable and yet at the same time makes Himself known that it's just awe-inspiring. You can't put Him in a box. You can't predict Him. And yet His character and His nature are things that He has made known to a degree as something we can trust, because as unknowable as He is also unchangeable. So the things we learn about Him from His Word, from the Bible, we can rest knowing that He's never going to change. He is always going to be a God of love. He is always going to be a good, merciful Father. He is always going to be just, and He's always going to have the victory. There's so many other attributes of God that I could tell you about, but that's not the point of this video. The point is that we won't know our own value until we know who we are valued by. And our value doesn't change because we were created by someone who is unchangeable. And that, my friends, is the coolest thing ever and totally awe-inspiring or fear-inspiring. So for this Halloween week, it's appropriate, right? I just want to tell you something about relationships. I am not an expert. I have not gotten it figured out, and I've messed up a whole bunch of times. But I can tell you that once I completely gave God control in that area of my life, surrendered everything to Him, I had a whole lot more peace. And relationships that don't work, they cannot work for a lot of reasons, but the most common reason that they don't work is because we're looking to another person to validate us, to make us happy, to affirm our value, when really that job was only supposed to be God's. Now, in right relationship, you have two people who understand that they are not perfect, but understand that God is, coming together in order to look to God for direction and look to the other to love selflessly. The only way that's possible is by understanding that God loved us first. There's so much in what I've just said in the past few minutes that I could speak a lot longer on, and there's probably a lot of questions. So feel free to ask me questions in the comments below. This is my attempt at starting a conversation with you. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope that you work on your relationship with God first. Go to Him, open up the Bible to find out who God is, and I promise you that when you look and find out who He is, you will find peace, assurance, confidence, everything that you're looking for. Everything that when you focus on yourself, you seem to fall short of. Go to God. He's the source. Find out who He is. Learn what the fear of God is. Learn how to stand in awe of Him, and He will show you how to love selflessly. That's not a magic formula for a perfect relationship, but it is definitely a good start. I will see you guys next week, and yeah, I love you. Praying for you. If you like what I'm doing here, please check out my Patreon campaign. I will put a link for it right here. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a video, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it.